Hello to everyone. We're going to start with a greeting from Violet and an introduction of a very special guest, Irv Polster. And Lynn Stadler is also going to have a discussion of whatever length. This is the agenda for the day. I'm going to say a few comments on our plans for Just for Now to not just for now, but how this can continue in the future. We'll do a poll to check in. Violet, you maybe have a story to share with us?
Sure.
Wonderful. And then we're going to get to hear really meaningful and wonderful presentations from Michelle Sargent and Laura Saldaraiga. Sorry, Laura, if I incorrectly pronounced your name. Okay, so that's the agenda. Letting a few more people in. Violet.
Yes.
Love for you to introduce Irv Polster.
Yes. Irv, are you there? Just wave.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Hi.
Very good. I'd like to, I have the honor of introducing Irv Polster to those of you who are here in the group, Just for Now. And Irv Polster, some of you, I'm sure, know him, is a master Gestalt therapist who has written several wonderful books about Gestalt therapy and who has trained many people in Gestalt therapy. And he's with us today. I'm just so honored to have him here. So I wanted to just tell all of you that he's here.
It's such a pleasure to be with you, even though it's virtual.
Yes, I can touch your head.
Well,
So, hi, Irv.
Hi.
I just wanted to say a few things about my interest in inviting you to our meeting this morning. When we started meeting in March, by the third session, there were more than 100 people on the call. And I was reminded of your work around life-focused communities and one of the books you wrote about 15 years ago about that topic. And I really wanted you to see this community, this spontaneous community in action. And I was hoping you could just say a few, things about your ideas about life-focused communities, if you would be so kind to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I have not worked a lot with children over the years. I did start out working with children, but okay. And one of the things that has been so important in Violet is that she's able to integrate two very difficult to integrate parts of living. One is the knowledge you get as a professional, and the other is the communication to people at large in ordinary language that is easily understandable and that has color and detail and inspiration. And I've always been very impressed with her facility for doing that, which seems to come very naturally. And I've always admired it. As far as the life focus groups are concerned, it's what the basic concept is to transpose what we know of as individual therapy intended to cure people into a more generalized exploration of how people live their lives, what matters to them, and for people to be able to do this together rather than only independently. So in order to do that, you have to have a format, some way of getting together, and some kind of design for activity, which takes into account the complexity of large groups of people and all the many things that are constantly operative, sometimes joined together and sometimes very conflicting of each other. So the idea then is to develop a theme which would matter to people. There are many things that are possible. In my illustrations, in my writing, I've used the theme of home. What does home mean to people? How do they feel about it? When did they have it? Where did they have it? How would they like to reproduce it, if at all? The general exploration of how this fits into people's lives, and some sense developed within the group of the value this has in living and how they can make it an important part of their own lives. And that's true not only of home, it's true of ambition, it's true of confusion, it's true of disappointment, it's true of tragedy. It's true of a number of things that matter in people's lives, even though they're not out to cure a particular acute problem. So that's the sum and substance of an introduction to it.
Great. Well, I don't think it was Karen's plan to create an international community online, but that's what's been happening here the last 3 months. And there's a lot of what you talk about in your book about some common themes and some people, elders in the community or experts in the community presenting, as well as some small group experiences, which have been really powerful with this online ability with breakout rooms, which is something maybe we'll do today that you could experience with us. And, you know, I met you 15 or 20 years ago. My trainers in Gestalt therapy were Isabel Fredrickson and Joseph Hanlon here in Santa Barbara. And Isabel is 97 now, and I understand that you're 98.
Well, we're in the kindergarten together.
Right. I always refer to you and Isabel as playpen buddies. And I remember you were presenting at a small Southwest regional meeting of the AAGT, which is the, for some of those who don't know, it's the Association for the Advancement of Gestalt Therapy. And I remember we were at the Silomar on the central coast of California, and you were talking about these groups. And I didn't really get it. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool and interesting, but as soon as we hit that 100-person mark, I was like, this is what Irv was talking about. It really feels like going to church.
Yes.
And you're right. It had that feeling. And my daughter, who's 14 now, sort of says, Mom, are you going to church? Because she sees me getting ready for these calls. And I just really appreciate sort of the potential. And I don't think you imagined that these would be done online on Zoom. But one of the things that's happening now is this kind of more acute awareness that individual psychotherapy isn't really working for the masses. And there are a lot of marginalized groups of people that maybe we can start to address in a more large group style. And we'd love your input, and just anything else you want to share would be great.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Is there anything you want to say before we start the rest of the meeting, or any questions about our group?
That you folks are doing this and that you've managed to gather a number of people together who can be together exploring a particular issue and have some common mind while still being individual. And I'm just delighted you're doing it.